I'm Dave Hogan and I'm a celebrity photographer. I basically photograph the A-list people and whoever's flavour of the month on the red carpet or at the BAFTAs or the Brits, and I get special access. I'm invited in to help publicise whatever they're in town to promote. I've been photographing celebrities before there was sort of PRs and branding and all that. You basically just, if somebody came in town, you photographed them. Now we've changed into a very much, what are we promoting? What's the core message we're going to get across? How do we get the next job because we are doing the branding that's required to sell the film, sell the program? What I love is doing the other side of that. You still have to play the game, but if you're working for a film company or where they allow you to be with the talent all day long, you get those more intimate, relaxed moments, and that's what I enjoy. But sometimes that's not always the way. I can travel half around the world for 5 minutes. I think what we're trying to do is you're trying to scrape underneath the surface because everybody's normal. It's just they're more normal than others, and unfortunately the celebrity game now involves, well, you must have a publicity person, you must have a stylist, hair, makeup, you know. So actually, once they've been celebrity made, you don't actually see the real person sometimes, and I think that's where the problems start. If they have an addiction problem, if they have a habit, or there's always somebody going to provide something for them, and that's the sad showbiz world that we have, where you hear such tragedies, where somebody's been given, nobody said no to them. And you understand the people around the celebrities, if they're on rather large amounts of money, why would they tell them this isn't right? And then the problems start. But that's the problem, you know, nobody says no to these people. Basically now the technology is now, everybody has an iPhone, so everybody's a photographer. Technology has now replaced the creative act. And you know, you could have a big shoot for a magazine, or and say one tweet, and that whole production is then suddenly ruined. And this is what's happening every day now. So it's a bit frustrating. I've been sort of shooting film, you know, since the early '80s. And when we went digital, you sort of would double up with film as well as shooting on digital. But I think most of our photographers and creative people now, half the time, it's the technology that's, you're actually losing some of the creativity because you're thinking, can I get a connection for my fast Wi-Fi connect? So technology and the stresses and strains of instant access. Sorry. I think, you know, the instant accessibility of information, whether it's on your iPhone, Twitter, whatever, everybody feels they must be part of that circuit. And sometimes we actually forget that actually going away and just chilling is an important part of busy London life. The truth is, I love giving back and actually challenging myself. I've worked a lot with Peterson where we've just knocked on a door and ended up going into a soup kitchen and both serving soup. I've slept out on the street where I was doing some homeless project. I've worked a lot with the Nelson Mandela Foundation, and it's all about access. And if you volunteer your time, and as a photographer, I've got time that I can photograph things that mean a difference. And I've gone off and photographed projects where the AIDS community in South Africa. I'm not a sort of documentary war photographer or social photographer, so I think it's to get through the falseness, because I live in a very false world. It's difficult sometimes to see the excess that's given to celebrity and then actually what's the other side, the poor side. I get my most reward, not money, but mentally, of actually, however bad you think your situation is, go and look at the other side. And it's a satisfying feeling to know that you can give something back, not financially, but time, that then they can use your artistic work to help in some way. I think the Haven in central London can be precisely that. If it's a space that isn't sort of 9 to 5 every single day. There's a space where you can see, go and think, reflect and look back and actually speak to somebody that doesn't care what you are, doesn't care, you know, how important or how famous or whatever. We do have a situation, I think, where within the creative industry, if you wear your religion on your shoulder, everybody sort of looks at you very strangely. And I think it's sadly, if you do come out of it, you almost get put into the religious nutter box, which is so sad because so many people are great believers, they just won't show it. And I probably myself, you know, sort of I look at some of the things and would people come up to me and invite you on this tour, that tour. It was like, oh, I need to go to church on Sunday. But it would be lovely to have a space that people feel comfortable and safe, and people that actually have some understanding rather than dismissive because you are one of these arty types. The creative team and people that he's bringing together all want to do something. They may not be able to have a donation each week, but they're prepared to get together to actually help, because I think we do need to give something back. If you've been creative and you've been successful, you know, you deserve, and you know, when it's much better, I feel, to actually work on something that doesn't involve a pound sign at the end of it. Obviously we've got to pay bills, but spiritually I feel much better about myself that I'm not just being a selfish git.